What is going on, guys? This is JW Films, and today we're talking about Hell in a Cell 2015, 2 days, of course, before the release of WWE 2K16, which you want to subscribe to this channel for, see all the content, universe mode creations, anything like that. But we're not talking about 2K16, we're talking about Hell in a Cell, we're talking about current WWE product. And speaking of which, they haven't really hyped this match up, or not even enough, I guess. They kind of talked about it, shown the promos, maybe Paul Heyman spoke about it once. But I do not think they've done this match much justice in the past few weeks that they should have, because this is a very big match. Some people even forgot this match is happening, which is, the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. You think they treat it as a bit of a bigger deal than they are. Not to say they aren't, but just a thought there. But of course, the build up to this match, everyone knows. Brock Lesnar breaks his streak 2 years ago. Then he loses the title at WrestleMania to Seth Rollins. He has that rematch, and then the Undertaker interferes. There's the pull apart before their SummerSlam match. I was actually at SummerSlam. I saw the match, and it was the Undertaker tapping out, but with but the Undertaker was also pinning Brock Lesnar at the same time, or something like that. So the Undertaker got the victory, but then Undertaker walks out. He actually stumbles at the stage. He falls, like he collapses. I saw that live. And then Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman cut this promo. Brock Lesnar really won. Undertaker knows this or something. Drops the mic, and we don't see them for a few months. Then we come back. Night of Champions. Sting and Seth Rollins was the main event. And during that pay-per-view, at some point, they announced that the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar having a rubber match, a final chapter in a Hell in a Cell, at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in the main event. Cool, that's fine. And then, but then we move on to focus on TV to hype up the MSG show, which is Big Show versus Brock Lesnar. So for 2 or 3 weeks that they could have used hyping up the Hell in a Cell match, they used it to hype up the MSG show. And then I don't even believe Brock Lesnar's been on Raw the past 2 weeks or whatever. And I think Big Show's just fine. He's back to being Big Show. I think he's turned face and heel about two to three times the last 2 to 3 Raws. I think he's like in a different role. I remember he was like, he laughed at Seth Rollins or something, which I guess makes him face, but something like that. Big Show's just doing a bunch of stuff. So he's fine. He hasn't, kind of like stretchered out almost at MSG. But then he's fine the next day, which is, sure, WWE. But we haven't really seen much build up for this. They've been showing the promos. They show, the shock of the streak, and then, pretty much what I just explained. And then they say the final chapter, the book closes at Hell in a Cell. So for this final chapter, I guess, you would have to have Brock Lesnar win, because the way it's gone, that they're not counting the 2002 stuff. So let's say the first start of this feud was the WrestleMania 30 match. So that was Brock Lesnar won. SummerSlam, Undertaker wins. Brock Lesnar wants revenge. So it only makes sense for Brock Lesnar to win. And then we also know John Cena is going to leave the company for a few months after Hell in a Cell. So maybe Brock Lesnar can win at Hell in a Cell and be kind of the big star that WWE needs for those few months. Keep him around. Maybe even just keep him around because they're going to need him for WrestleMania. They got a big deal with him. I'm pretty sure he's got a bunch of appearances. So maybe even having a, let's see, what is that, like a 5-month or so, 4-month reign in WWE. I should say a run, not really a reign. Unless he does win the title, he goes after Seth Rollins again. Maybe he takes Undertaker out of the picture and, has a clean match with Seth Rollins, I guess. And since there's no J&J security anymore, there's no Undertaker around, Brock Lesnar wins the title clean. That way it kind of, can give Seth Rollins a chance to make himself a bit less stale. We don't have to see Seth Rollins doing the same promo every week and, fighting Kane, who I also think, I think Seth Rollins should win, of course, at Hell in a Cell. But I'll get to that in another video. I'll talk about Rollins versus Kane. But I'm going to say Brock Lesnar wins at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The Undertaker goes away for a little bit, starts a new feud at, for WrestleMania, of course. So in February or March. Another thought, which is kind of vague, especially now that we know Sting's, having a career-threatening injury. Maybe this was the plan at Night of Champions. That's why they announced it, and then I don't know, maybe Sting was supposed to win or lose, you know, regardless of what it is, and you know, he'd go on to interfere in this Hell in a Cell match. But since Sting's been off TV and kind of forgotten about, maybe Sting's recovering and he doesn't have to wrestle for a while. Maybe they can hype up a WrestleMania match. They can do it like they did Rock and Cena a few years ago. They announced it like, I mean, that was like a year before, but you know, a few months before Sting and Taker at WrestleMania in Texas. It makes a whole bunch of sense. But of course, it all depends on Sting's, you know, wellness and his injury, because of course it was a very dangerous injury, that turnbuckle powerbomb by Seth Rollins. But yeah, a lot of this could involve Seth Rollins, a lot of this could involve Sting, but it all depends on what happens at Hell in a Cell, of course. But I'm going to say, most likely, we're just going to see Brock Lesnar win. And I think he should start a feud with someone else that night. So whether that means, you know, Sting's coming back, or Seth Rollins, or maybe even the next night on Raw, I want Brock Lesnar to be there. And, you know, starting a feud, starting a program, rather than just being like a one-off Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, and then we don't see them for the next 6 months until WrestleMania. So that's going to be my predictions. It's going to be Brock Lesnar winning. And then, of course, there's a few extra thoughts I threw in there. But that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this prediction, we're going to have more of them, of Rollins and Kane, as well as Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, which I'll talk about. And you know, if you want to hear my thoughts on those, stay tuned to this channel over the next few days leading up to Hell in a Cell. I'll be posting these. I'll also be posting some 2K16 related stuff, and we'll try to get JW Money in the Bank up before 2K16 comes out. So we got 9 days and plenty of content to post. And then, of course, the release of 2K16 means triple, double, quadruple that content for this week. And especially the first day, I'm planning on doing a midnight release and getting a whole bunch of content for you guys. Tons of videos that day and that week, of course. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. And, of course, the next 9 days of other WWE-related content. We'll still have this. If you guys like these pay-per-view predictions, leave a like. Comment on what you agree with, what you disagree with, and what you want me to talk about in WWE. And I'll do it if it has enough fanfare. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.